Welcome, it's Sue here with Get to the Farm. Today we'll be discussing the importance of balancing nutrients in your soil to ensure that your plants have a proper diet they need to thrive. In order for your plants to grow strong and healthy, it's important to understand the supply and demand of nutrients in your soil. The balance of nutrients is affected by several interacting factors. Nutrient availability is a constant give and take process, and to be useful to plants, nutrients need to be in the right balance. If they're not in the right balance, plants can't use them, even if they're all within easy reach. This means that too little of one nutrient can partially starve plants by limiting their use of other nutrients, while too much of one nutrient can lock others out of plants' reach. Soil that's very acidic or alkaline can lock up several nutrients at once. Therefore, it's important to ensure that your soil is not too acidic, not too alkaline, and has a good balance of all essential nutrients. The largest part of a plant's diet is the major nutrients, those used in large quantities: nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, magnesium, and sulfur. Plants also need micronutrients like iron, manganese, copper, zinc, boron, and molybdenum, but in small amounts. Overdoses of any micronutrients can be toxic. Now, let's talk about organic matter. Organic matter is your ally in the Great Balancing Act. It provides many, if not all, the minor nutrients plants need, often in just the right balance, plus small amounts of all major nutrients. It releases the nutrients slowly, matching plant needs and helping to prevent overdose. Finally, organic matter ensures availability by helping to maintain the right acidity balance. It's not enough for the physical properties we described in our earlier videos to be good for soil to be ideal. The interlocking chemical properties that create fertility also must be in good shape. Rich loam is created by physical and chemical properties working together. In order to achieve the right balance of nutrients, it's important to test your soil and identify nutrient deficiencies, soil acidity, and the forms of organic matter your soil needs. By ensuring the right balance of nutrients and organic matter, you'll be on your way to creating the ideal soil that will help your plants grow strong and healthy. Fertility means more than just pouring on fertilizers. Plants need a varied and balanced diet, but nutrients are of no use unless they're within reach of a plant's roots or leaves. The Great Balancing Act requires careful attention to both nutrient supply and demand. As we mentioned earlier, nutrient supply and demand is a constant give and take. In addition to sources supplying nutrients and uses removing them, several interacting factors can affect supply and demand. Once nutrients are broken down and made available, they're stored in the soil. Humus and clay are responsible for almost all nutrient storage in any soil. As a result, soils with high levels of clay and humus have tremendous ability to store nutrients for future use. Most nutrients come from the rocks that weather down to become the parent material and eventually mineral particles. Organic matter supplies many of the same nutrients, plus nitrogen, which rarely occurs in mineral form. Organic matter is the remain of plants and animals and may contain many different chemical elements in their cells. As microorganisms break down organic matter, these elements are returned to the soil. Nutrients can also be supplied to the soil as fertilizer, limestone and other rock dusts, or compost. Nutrients have to dissolve in soil water before plants can soak them up. The water clinging to the soil particles holds the nutrients in a form that can be absorbed by the roots. Therefore, it's important to have adequate soil moisture to ensure nutrients are available for plant uptake. In addition to proper nutrient supply, it's equally important to identify nutrient deficiencies in your soil. These deficiencies can cause a range of problems, such as stunted growth, yellowing leaves, and poor fruit production. Some of the most common nutrient deficiencies in plants are nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. To identify nutrient deficiencies, you can perform a soil test. The soil test will analyze your soil's nutrient content and pH level, which will help you determine which nutrients are lacking and how much fertilizer and amendments to add. Soil tests are inexpensive and easy to perform, and they can be done at home or through a soil testing lab. Soil acidity is another important factor to consider when balancing nutrients in your soil. Soil pH affects the availability of nutrients in the soil, and most plants grow best in soil with a pH between 6 and 7. If your soil is too acidic or too alkaline, nutrients can be locked up and unavailable to plants. To determine the pH of your soil, you can use a pH test kit or a soil testing lab. If your soil is too acidic, you can add lime to raise your pH level. If your soil is too alkaline, you can add sulfur to lower the pH. Lastly, organic matter plays a crucial role in balancing nutrients in your soil. Organic matter in itself is rich in nutrients and also helps to improve soil structure, water retention, and aeration. Organic matter can be added to your soil through composting, cover cropping, or using organic fertilizers. Balancing nutrients in your soil is essential for ensuring your plants receive a proper diet they need to thrive. By performing a soil test, adjusting soil acidity and organic matter levels, you can create the ideal soil for your plants to grow strong and healthy. Thanks for stopping by. Happy gardening. Hit that subscribe button and we'll see you next time.
And I feel like New York City. Get me to the farm.